Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out on this rainy afternoon as we celebrate our Armenian flag raising. Unfortunately, the mayor could not be here. He had a family event and was unable to attend, but he sends his greetings to all of you and his profound gratitude for you all always showing up for these wonderful events. So, as I said, today we're going to celebrate the country of Armenia's Independence Day and recognize the City Hall staff members who are able to take time away from their work to come and join us. Thank you all, and the Marian family, who has one of our oldest and strongest Armenian families in the community. Thank you for being here with us. On September 21st, 1991, the people of Armenia voted in a referendum to proclaim independence from the Soviet Union. Armenian independence was formalized on December 26th in connection with the dissolution of the USSR. About 3 million people live in Armenia, but millions of people of Armenian descent live around the world, including in our great city of Brockton. Armenia is a landlocked nation bordering Iran, Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Georgia, and one of the national symbols of Armenia is Mount Arafat. Despite being outside of the borders of modern Armenia, the mountain is a sacred mountain for Armenians. It's considered the resting place of Noah's Ark, and this mountain is featured in Armenian literature and art. The pomegranate is also plentiful in Armenia and is a symbol of the nation. Fun fact. Armenia's landscape includes spectacular natural rock formations, lakes, waterfalls, and mountains, and there are 10 cultural heritage items on the UNESCO list, including Byzantine monasteries, prehistoric archaeological sites, and cathedrals that date back to 300 AD. I love this part. Armenians are warm, traditional, and very hospitable, and I can attest to that because my neighbors are extremely hospitable to me all the time. Family is very important, particularly children who are seen as the light of the home. Is that true, John? Thank you. Thank you. I know that. I had to ask him because I know that. He has 4 lights in his home, absolutely, and I have 2 in mine, being 1/4 Armenian myself. Just want to throw that out there. Armenians are also known for their love of dancing at any event, and their singing, because I've witnessed that. This quality shows the resilience of the Armenian people who can find joy through dancing and singing. Armenian cuisine is closely related to Mediterranean cuisine. Spices, herbs, nuts, legumes, wheat, vegetables, fish, and fruits combine to create unique dishes. Armenians' favorite sports are wrestling, weightlifting, judo, chess, boxing, and of course, soccer. We celebrate Armenia as we do most cultures that make up the fabric of the city of Brockton. We are vibrant in culture, race, and ethnicity, and it's something that we value most because it's most important to the community that we've created in Brockton that is so loving, warm, and hospitable, and values all the lights in our home, our children, our parents, our grandparents, and future generations. So again, thank you so much for being here and participating. Before we raise the flag, I wanted to give this proclamation, this mayoral proclamation, to the Marian family. So I ask that you join me, and then we're going to have a few words from John Marian because he knows a lot more about Armenian history than I just read to you. So will you join me? So.
Absolutely.
I won't be alone. So this is a mayoral proclamation. Whereas on September 21, 1991, in an act that demonstrated the resolute spirit that has characterized its culture through the ages, Armenia declared its independence from the Soviet Union. And whereas the Armenian people, in spite of suffering atrocities at the hands of the Ottoman Empire, before, during, and after World War I have maintained their cultural identity and traditions both inside Armenia and throughout the Armenian diaspora. And whereas Brockton's greatest strength is our diverse population, including residents and business owners from Armenia who have enriched the city with the introduction of Armenian customs, food, and culture. And whereas it is an honor to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of our citizens of Armenian ancestry and to extend to them best wishes for continued success and prosperity. Now, therefore, I, Sidney Marrow, on behalf of Robert F. Sullivan, who is the mayor of the city of Brockton, hereby proclaim September 21st, 2024 in the city of Brockton as Armenian Independence Day. We urge all residents of the city of Brockton to join us in observing this day, signed and sealed this 20th day of September 2024, Robert F. Sullivan, Mayor, City of Brockton.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Absolutely. The podium's all yours.
Well, the last time I was up here, we had it outside, and I brought quite a few Armenians to celebrate this, because for Armenians, this is a very proud day. And quite a few of my friends that I grew up with and went to camp with and church with and everything else, they were honored to come. We sang the national anthem and we raised the flag. For us as Armenians growing up in this country, we never really heard stories from our grandparents. They didn't really want to talk about how they were displaced from Armenia. It happens in a lot of cultures. And God bless the United States of America, because, I mean, we can come here and we can start new lives, and that's what they did. But they never really talked about the horrors. At one point in the early 1900s, there was like 400,000 Armenians, they estimate, that was left in the world. And one of the things that I really grew up believing and wanting to do was to marry an Armenian girl, and I did. I married my wife, Shoei, my beautiful wife, and I brought we brought 4 Armenians into the world, because we felt, and I felt, that, you know, we needed to perpetuate the culture that was almost wiped out. Now, all cultures have stories, and it's great to hear the cultural stories of all people, because those stories, they build character and they build who we are as people, and it makes us proud and it makes us forge forward. But Brockton, to me, has been home, and even though there was a small Armenian community, not a large one like in Watertown or in Glendale, California, we didn't have a church, we had a cultural society. William Saroyan is quoted, he's a famous Armenian author, and he's quoted as saying, whenever you bring 2 Armenians together, you will create another Armenia, and that's what happened here in Brockton. A lot of Armenians came to work in the shoe factories, and we developed a cultural community. And what has happened throughout my life as I've grown up, I've noticed other cultures as they're assimilating to Brockton, you know, and I used to tell people when we arranged like the parade, the Christmas parade, you know, why don't these cultures come out, and what, you know, we have to do, I says, look, here's what happens. People come over, they hang with their own people, right? So you go to these different parks and whatnot, and you see, like, you know, Cape Verdean culture, picnic, cultural day, whatever. And those generations, they hang with each other because they remember each other from the old country, and then the newer generation, as they get older, they assimilate into the community a little bit more. And I says, look, it'll happen. As they get older, we'll have more kids coming in, and that's exactly what happened. It's a natural thing. So for me, it was like being, you know, when I was a kid, you'd go to the A&P and there'd be like 20 different languages spoken. I had to speak Armenian with my grandparents because that was their native language, and you'd hear a Greek person talking to a Portuguese and a Polish person, and this is Brockton, and this is a part of our makeup. And Sidney had mentioned that, and it's cool, you know, it's cool. That's the United States. But for us as Armenians, you know, we really love this day, and we cherish it because we lost our independence because of the war, and we finally got it back. And my wife, Shoei, and my daughter, Mara, we were honored to be the first on my side of the family to go back to Armenia in 2019 and see what this land that our grandparents came from was like. I cried. it was tough, you know? But I spoke the language, you know, and it was great, made me happy, speaking the language and getting to know these people. And then one day, we were sitting in the square, and all of a sudden, these parades of kids came marching down, like laughing and joking, with flags in their hand. They had the flag. We called this the Yera Queen, the tricolor. And it was Armenian Independence Day. They were celebrating. It was like so cool. So anyway, I know my daughter loved it. We went and we saw Mount Ararat. We went to all the churches, some churches being created in 400 AD. We were the first culture to accept Christianity, and we're an old culture when it comes to religion. But anyway, I could talk for hours on this, and I don't want to. I just wanted you folks to understand a little bit about what being Armenian means to us. And we can raise the flag. By the way, the tricolors, red is for the blood that was spilled in the war. The orange is the wheat of the land, and the blue are the blue skies in Armenia, and it's truly a beautiful land. So with that, I want to thank Sydney and the mayor, thank everybody for allowing us to celebrate this, and we can raise the flag, and Harachna Hadag. Azad Hayastan, that means free Armenia.
Very good. Did you get a football?
Oh, I would love to. We used to do this at camp. We did. Every morning we had to raise the flag at the same time. We had to sing Harachna Hadag.
Hey, do we have,
You want to come over here? Thank you very much. But it's better than thanks. Awesome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon for this wonderful flag raising. Thank you to the Marion family for honoring us with your presence and your words. They do mean a lot, and they're very, very heartfelt, and so we thank you. Hopefully we'll see you at our next flag raising, which will be Nigeria? Okay, the Nigerian flag in October. Thank you all so much. Have a pleasant weekend.